Open up the meeting here. We've got Mindy Sear from Maine Municipal Audit Services. We're just do a little workshop here, ask some questions, and I guess we're gonna open this up and have her tell a little bit about herself, what she brings to the town, what she can bring to the town of Acton.
Okay. Hi, first I want to say thank you for allowing us to do this via Zoom so I could be part of the workshop. Like previously stated, my name is Mindy Sear from Maine Municipal Audit Services. We're a small auditing firm out of Levant, which is like 12 miles west of Bangor. I personally have been specializing in municipal audits for 20 years. I started the firm in 2011, so we've been in business for, it'll be 11 years this November. We currently perform just municipal audits for approximately 50 municipalities throughout the state. So since we've been in business the past 11 years, the firm has built a reputation for providing quality work in a timely manner to all of our clients. If chosen as the audit firm for the town of Acton, you'll work directly with me as managing partner. As managing partner, I am involved from start to finish with the audit. We do have some staff members that work on the audit here in the office, and then one or two might come to field work, but typically they stay right in the office. The formal proposal sent down outlines our approach to auditing and other background information on me, but I can answer any questions you might have now.
Mindy, Tom McGurty here. In terms of occasional rotation of partners, how does your firm handle that? It sounds like you specialize in the municipal audits. Is there someone else that, 7 years from now, if we were still with you, we wanted to rotate partners, is there someone else that could step in at that point, or how do you handle that?
Not at this time. We don't rotate partners at this time.
Is there another partner that reviews the audit and work papers, or is it exclusively handled by you?
There's a review of the work papers done not by a managing partner, but by a staff member.
A staff member. Okay, thank you. Appreciate
They have all of the education, and they're updated in governmental accounting standards each year.
Okay.
What towns now are you guys servicing?
We have about 55.
Just name a couple. I don't want to know all 55. Just a couple.
Down that way, the town of Lyman. I go out to Lubec. We do Holden. We do.
So you're familiar with the size of the towns that, size of the town of Acton?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to name close to your size.
I see from the towns you listed, there were, I think these were for references, Bradford, Holden, Lyman, Lubec, Cushing, and Stockton Springs. But you must have more than that as well.
Oh yes, I can send you a full list.
That's fine. That's
fine. Or they're available on the State Department about it. Right?
I'm only asking these questions because the people that are on the meeting here, they don't have the information. So I'm just trying to kind of get a little bit out there for everybody else to see. So because we did go through your resume there, and so you guys are out of up by Bangor.
Yep.
You pretty much answered a lot of my questions as you went on. So, but just clarify, if for some reason we needed you to come down, the price that you've given us does that include coming down if we need you to for some reason?
Throughout the year?
Yeah.
You mean like not specifically for the audit, you mean like for consulting?
Yeah.
Yes, that would include one day in the office helping to do adjusting entries or any other questions that you might have going over those.
Okay.
So that's during the audit, Mindy, that one
No,
day.
that's that one extra day is separate from the office. So I would be we typically do about 3 days of audit work in the office,
I see.
one before year end, two to get the audit materials, and then we offer one extra day throughout the year.
Yeah. I think your proposal indicated that you would assist with the preparation of the financial statements. Did I get that right? Because as I understand it, our history has been that the auditor actually prepares the financial statements. Is that right, Jennifer?
Yes, sir.
So
Yeah, that's
and
typical for
basically,
all municipalities.
I assume you're working from like a trial balance, something like that, and then you would prepare the financials and all the accompanying notes.
Correct.
I see. Okay, good. Testing of transactions, typically for an organization of our size, under $10 million. How extensive is that testing? How do you go about determining how much to test?
We have worksheets that help us to determine what we want to sample. But it really depends on once we get in there and we see, we always look through all of the bank statements. We scan through all of the warrants, but just take a sample off them. Don't test
I
every
see.
transaction.
Testing AP and payroll transactions that appear on
And
the
cash
warrant,
receipting. Yeah.
cash receipts. Okay. In terms of a management letter, I think you made reference to providing one. Is that standard, and we would expect to see that every year?
Yes, it's typically issued at the end of the audit.
Okay.
I can do it prior to the end so that we can go over it together. So changes can be made if I miss something or if you disagree with my findings.
So how many auditors would actually be assigned to this beyond you? How many would actually be on the engagement? How many individuals?
Based on what I've seen so far, it would be me and one other person coming down to the office, and then in the office there would be 3 of us.
I see. Are they people that have been with you a while? Have you already determined who they would be, and have they been on staff for a while?
One of them has. Yes.
One of them has? I see. So in terms of their work and the need to talk to staff here, especially during the first year, how does that typically play out? I don't know if we've informed you or not, but our treasurer has just resigned.
Yes, Jennifer.
Okay,
told me that
so
when we spoke yesterday.
while we have people that like Jennifer and another person who are involved in sort of the daily transactional work that's been done, we really don't have any other, I'll call them accounting staff, if you will, in the town. So if you thought about how that might play differently, given that you're new, it's been my experience, typically there are a lot of questions in the first year. And so I'm sure Jennifer, she has a wealth of knowledge, would know much of that, but a lot of that might require more digging to get at.
Yeah, that's typical. There's actually been a huge, a significant number of turnover in our clientele right now. So we have been doing a lot of asking questions, and I don't know if former treasurer will be available if questions come up, that she would be able, or he would be able to answer any questions via email, stuff like that.
I'm sorry, who are you referring to? Were you asking a question whether the former treasurer?
Right, if they would be available for
Jennifer, you
any
want to answer
questions.
that?
I believe that, yes, she would answer a question if the board asked her to, but I guess in all due respect, she did give the town of Acton 18 years and a 2-week notice. I mean, she's going on to a full-time job at another municipality. I mean, she has said to myself and her other deputy treasurer that going to be stepping in a bigger role, that certainly we can, call her for a bit. I mean, I don't want, you know what I mean? I'm sure we can dig and find things. And I think what Tom may be kind of leaning to is there someone from your staff that would actually be able to, to come in and help a little more than maybe normal, if it was a company, a town that you had already been with for X amount of years until we get somebody in the position.
Yes, we would have that covered.
So let's dig a little more on that, just to make sure we understand. The treasurer will be gone at the end of this week, so we've got, it may be, let's say a month to 2 months before we find a replacement. So a lot of the daily transactional work will just flow from the receipts and disbursements. We use Taleo as is that right, Jennifer? Is that
Trio.
general ledger? Trio, excuse me. Trio as our general ledger and our disbursement for both AP and payroll systems. And receivables are something different. Is that a separate system?
No, it's everything we do. We use all modulars, all the modulars, Mindy, of Trio, except for code enforcement, which really doesn't utilize a financial aspect.
I would imagine that as you're going through the audit, there will be year-end accounting entries that will need to be prepared and probably adjusting entries that will need to be prepared. Is that something you can assist with
Yes.
in the system? You can actually, you're familiar with that system and
Yes, and I'm very
can
familiar with
transact
the
in it?
budgetary side of Trio.
How many, I mean, there has to be out of 100% of your clients, Mindy, how many of them, what percentage would you estimate use something other than Trio?
Oh, something other than Trio, probably, I don't know, less than 15%.
Yeah, so it's pretty common, Tom. So she's less than 15%. So
it's just my experience. The auditors never get in the general ledger, but it sounds like here it's going to be necessary, and maybe that's typical for you. I don't know.
It is typical with the smaller municipalities,
Yeah.
especially with the turnover.
how many
So you're
years?
saying-
You're gonna ask
So you're seeing a lot of turnover in treasuries.
Yes.
Is it just that position, Mindy, or? in
No, it's
general?
all positions.
It's municipal turnover, Tom. I
Yeah.
think is what she meant.
Thank you. Thank you.
Anything,
So-
Kim?
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Tom had asked a question earlier, just like how many.
You have to speak up a little bit, Kim.
Sorry. It's kind of a follow-up question to what Tom was saying about, he was asking you about, how many people in the office and, who would be working on it. Do you generally, because people have asked, they feel we should be changing auditors every few years. Do you come across this?
Some of my clients go out to bid every 3 to 5 years for auditor rotation or to stay competitive with pricing, that type of thing. But for the most part, I have a pretty consistent client base. There's no requirement to change auditor.
How many years, generally, most amount, how many years are you with?
How
with
many
a
years
client?
left?
How many years are you with a client? Like your longest client? Is your turnover like every few years, or do you have clients you've had for 7, 8, 9, 10 years?
I have clients that I've had since the business started.
Okay.
What year was that?
11 years.
2011?
2011.
Yes.
So, okay, all right. Just a question I had. Thank you.
Okay. I don't think I've got any more questions. Off the top of my head, I think everything's been pretty much answered. Tom, do you have anything else? Oh, Tom, you're muted.
Can't hear you.
Hold on. Is that
There
better?
you are. Yeah, I
Yeah.
hear you now.
No, I think, are there any other questions from the residents that have been passed forth?
No, we advertised it several times, and I put it on Facebook numerous times, and we did not receive any questions as of looking at my email now.
A question has been raised about the need for the school department to submit, I believe it's draft financial statements by the end of August. Do you contemplate if you were engaged in this audit, you'd be able to get us through to that timeframe? Make that timeframe?
As outlined in their proposal, I can do the field work by the end of August. I can't guarantee a draft by the end of August. I did by the end of September, I said, just because we have, I don't like to guarantee something that I know might not happen, especially with the turnover.
Uh,
So
I,
I would try my best
I-
to get
I
it by the
assume-
end of August.
I assume we could file for an extension on that. Have you seen that happen?
Yes, who's the requirement through?
I think it's the Department of Education in the state of Maine requires, I believe, a set of draft financial statements by August 30th. Is that not what we heard the other night,
I thought it
Jennifer?
As I understand
August
it, it's the
15th, I think,
filing that
Tom.
the school department does through their MDOE system, not the draft financial, like the trial balance provided for. So
Oh, okay, so
I
it's,
have other school departments that I don't have to do that August. Fine by. The full reporting package is due by December 31st.
yeah.
Definitely doable.
Jennifer, does this make sense with what we heard the other night? I'm not connecting these.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'd have to go back and replay. I thought that the statement that we heard, and certainly David and Kim were there, was that the deadline was August 15th.
Oh,
I don't
August
know that they,
15th.
yeah, I don't know that they talked about any extensions. I didn't realize that was
I don't
really an
believe
option.
the way that Kim was speaking the other night, there, if she doesn't have this stuff in by a certain date, and I think that was the date, I think she was
It was
talking August
August.
15th.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then what ends up happening, just, it turns into a complete crap show anyway, so, she never mentioned any extensions, but,
I would-
But did Mindy say that we could get extensions?
I don't know that deadline.
I actually went on their website. I
Oh,
went on
okay.
their website and I found a form to request an extension, but I'm not quite sure, Mindy, from what you said, exactly what it is that's due. And
Right.
so I'm not quite sure what this is. So we'll have to do some more digging on our end to
Okay.
figure this out. I thought it was draft financials, but maybe I got that wrong. So we'll look into that further. Thank you.
okay. So,
We do have, Mr. Chairman, we do have one question that's come in. However, I have to remind you that when we talked about, the half-hour free Zoom, because we were out of COVID and we decided not to
Yeah.
upgrade, we've
Yeah.
got a nice flashing message that says 5 minutes left. So,
4 minutes and
um,
57 seconds, yep.
the meeting has been upgraded by the host. I think that Dan has saved the day. All right, so let's keep
Okay.
going. Dan, we owe you. Just Bill David. All right, here's the question. If it's okay, I'll read it.
Yep.
Without disclosing things specific, of course, have you ever discovered questionable practices in your audit process that you've reported to the municipality's governing body?
Yes.
Of course, yes.
Okay.
The answer is yes, and that's obviously the right answer. You absolutely have to tell somebody.
Yeah.
But it's good.
Okay.
I think that was a question from the public, just to be reassured that, you would in fact share that information.
Yes.
Okay.
And you must be under some legal obligation, Mindy, not knowing anything really about,
Correct.
but you must be, right?
I believe there are required communications.
Yes, there are.
That would include any findings like that.
We got any other questions, Jen?
Um,
Nothing else come through?
Nope, looked at my email, looked at the chat down bottom. No, sir.
Okay.
Anything else we didn't ask that you think we ought to know about?
I don't think so.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Well, no, I appreciate it much. I guess what we'll do is, we'll close the meeting and we'll be in touch one way or another.
Okay, thank you for your
Thanks.
time.
Thanks a
Thank
lot,
you.
Mindy.
Thank you.
Watching, there is a second link for the second workshop on the website. You've actually got to go out and rejoin the other one, but we won't start it until about 5 minutes to 5.
Okay.
Okay.
Very good.
Thank you, Mindy. Nice to
Thanks a
meet
lot.
you.
You
You
too.
too. Bye now.
Okay, bye.